keep you out. But the barbed wire says, don't pass this line. I passed it. Then I found that road to a house. There was no one there. And then I found out the road was a road to nowhere. And the people that I found on that road, well, the creatures, were of no use to me. They couldn't help me. But then I sought the Lord. Get saved. Get taught the Christian life. We want the path of least resistance. If you want the path of least resistance, don't travel with me. Oh, it's so nice. Isn't it so nice? Don't have to cook. Don't have to do this. Well, if I don't cook, I have to buy dinner. You ever feed 10 people for less than $50? Peanut butter and jelly. Well, bless God, just eat beans. How many days did you eat beans in a row? Peanut butter and jelly every day for 3 months, a year? Does that even sound reasonable? Path of least resistance. We take the path of least resistance, and we had warning, we had guide, we forsook the guide, had no illumination. We get to the barbed wire that says, don't cross this line. We hop on over. There's no one to help us. They have no answers for us. Funny thing about seeking the Lord, because once I sought the Lord, the next fence had no barbed wire. Just come on over. Come back in. The Lord doesn't keep us from coming back in. So just come back in. Just come back in. When I got to the highway, the Lord sends people by your way. But you might have to get out first. Nobody went into the whale of that, the whale's belly. Jonah, he wasn't help? No. He had to know salvation was of the Lord.
Amen.
Then God sent a passerby that would set me right. The end of the story was like the Lord. When I got back to where I was supposed to be, that deacon was there to meet me. Open arms. Preacher! The Lord doesn't say, oh, it's you? I was hoping you'd stay lost. Grace in the wilderness.
Yeah.
I've never experienced that. Well, either you've never experienced grace, or you're just perfect. Never had any problems in your life. We've only read one verse, really. It says, the people which were left of the sword found grace in the wilderness. Even Israel, when I went to cause him to rest. The Lord said, I went there, verse 2, to cause them to rest. The Lord said, I'm going to do this. Look at verse 3. The Lord hath appeared of old unto me, saying, Yea, I have loved thee with an everlasting love. Therefore, with loving kindness, look what it says, have I drawn thee. Mysterious. How? I don't know. When? I don't know. One of the earliest recollections, I was only 4 or 5. I walked around the dead-end street to the little hole there to the next dead-end street. There was a Volkswagen Bug parked there on the road. And if you know anything about a Volkswagen Bug, they're air-cooled, they have the grill in the back. And I've been playing just a little boy by myself, picked up a little pebble. And I thought, I wonder, for no reason, just sin nature, I go over that car, I'm going to stick it to the grill. Just pop it through. Just stick it to that grill. Why? I have no idea. Seemed like it would fit. And when I walked over to that Volkswagen, I remember the little pebble. I remember it being in my fingers. I walked up to that grill. I mean, it was right there, right there. And it struck me. God is watching. Threw it down. Oh, you must have really been catechized or something. Oh, no. Must have gone to church. I did. Mother must have read the Bible every day. No. But whatever it was, he said, I have loved thee with an everlasting love. I guess that means I was being loved when I picked up the pebble. Already. Therefore, with loving kindness I have drawn thee. And so when I picked up that pebble, the Lord went, huh? I can't do that. Did you understand it? No, I've never forgotten it. What was the Lord doing? It says, I have drawn you. Let's skip down a little bit. Go down to verse 9. He says, they shall come with weeping and with supplications will I lead them. He says, you're going to come to me, you want grace in the wilderness? You're going to come to me, come with weeping. So when you bring your supplications, you bring them with weeping. It's not flippant. We bring them with weeping. We bring them with supplication. We say, Lord, I have no answers. I don't know what to do. The course I'm on, I'm not happy about this course. I don't like the results of what I'm seeing. I come with weeping and supplications. But he said, I will lead them. So you're in the wilderness. You found grace in the wilderness. And he drew you with an everlasting love. And he led you. You came with weeping and supplications. The interesting thing is, as of now, we haven't seen much that we've done. We've seen a whole lot of what he's done. Amen. I will cause them, verse 9, I will cause them to walk by the rivers of waters in a straight way, wherein they shall not stumble. For I am a father to Israel, and Ephraim is my firstborn. He says, I've got a tight place. Tight and straight place. Safe place. And I've got it, and you will not stumble. You found grace in the wilderness, and I drew you, and you came with weeping and supplication. I said, now come, it's safe with me. Now look at verse 11. For the Lord hath redeemed Jacob and ransomed him from the hand of him that was stronger than he. When you got saved, you were held captive by Satan at his will. We were redeemed from one that was stronger than we. Amen. Why is it that he keeps saying over and over, over and over. I brought you up out of Egypt. I redeemed you with a strong hand. He says, I brought grace to the wilderness. I brought grace when you were in bondage. I brought grace to you in the wilderness. I brought grace to you during the time of the conquering. I brought grace to David and to the kingdom. Look at verse 14. And I will satiate the soul of the priest with fatness, and my people shall be satisfied with my goodness, saith the Lord. You know what he's saying? He's saying, you'll be satisfied with me. My welfare isn't enough, so you'll be satisfied with me. I want the government to do more. No. He said, you'll be satisfied with me. The farmers used to do this. Now they do this to Washington. Make a lot of money not planting crops because their soil is too wet now because of insurance. Used to be the Lord. Used to be when things were tough. We went to the Lord and God intervened. We don't need the Lord anymore. We just go to state. Get His help. So you'll be satisfied with my goodness. I'm not satisfied until I have properties and lands and vehicles and riches. I'm not satisfied until I get all these things I want. He said, why don't you be satisfied with my goodness? Don't expect those things that you want until you're satisfied with my goodness either. Let's skip down to 17. And there is hope in thine hand. Woo, praise God. That's right. Brother Bob's closer than I am. He only has about 75, 80 years to go, maybe. But there's hope in your head. There's hope. Yeah. There's hope. Amen. Grace in the wilderness. There's hope. Saith the Lord that thy children shall come again to their own border. He says your people will come home. They're going to be able to come home. The Christian gets to come home. Amen. There is the hope in thine hand. Look at verse 25. We'll go down here. We'll get somewhere. Verse 25 says, for I have satiated the weary soul, and I have replenished ever sorrowful soul. When the Lord brings grace in the wilderness, you have to accept that grace, that refreshment. We had homeless people we picked up years ago. All things being equal, let's just assume they were really homeless and really starving. So you bring them in, you bring them to the table. So we got breakfast for you. We have some nice oatmeal and eggs, a big pot. There's some white sugar here. We have white sugar and we have coffee. And we have toast. What we're trying to do is nurture them a little bit. Maybe in these cold winter, minus 19 degrees in Chicago, we're trying to refresh you. But you have to accept that grace. But some of them said, where's the bacon? No, this is it? Well, you can eat all you want. There's lots. There's no eggs. Biscuits and gravy. You have to accept the grace He brings you. Amen. We lost our van. We lost our trailer. We had the Suburban. We got the trailer we have now. I can't believe God only let me buy this 27-foot trailer. It was that or the tent. I accept the grace that He brought. Well, the Suburban, you could have done it better if you had got one of those big Suburbans to pull more weight. But this is what He brought. You live in Norwalk? How many years? You know, you go down to some of those places, suburbs, get towards San Diego there. Got some of those neighborhoods, got the real nice clay roof, you know. The homes are about 3 sizes, the tract house sizes, you know, post-war homes. Pretty manicured areas. And all the strip malls and stuff. Kind of fancy. You know what tries to bring in a fancy building, but these places, the whole neighborhood's fancy. It'd be easy to take a little trip one day and go, I could have lived here. Go up those homes on the other side of the valley, up Magic Mountain, the last 20 years, all those new neighborhoods. This is man. This is nice. Or you could say, thanks for the house, Lord. Amen. Thanks for where I've been able to live. Amen. Thanks for the place I've been able to be. Thanks for the place I'm probably going to die, but you gave me grace in the wilderness and I'll take it. Yeah. Amen. Right. Let's skip down now to verse 33. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. Now just think about ourselves, God's people. After those days, saith the Lord, I will put my law in their inward parts and write it in their hearts, and will be their God, and they shall be my people. I'll tell you what, God was very determined. He was very determined to go to the Marine Corps and find you. Amen. Very determined. You weren't looking so hard, were you, when He came? No. He says, I will be their people. Well, the Lord works on both ends. But then He says, when you get saved, after mercy has come and grace has come in the wilderness, after you've come to Me with weeping, after I've set you on a straight path, I've refreshed you and taken care of you, I just want you to know I put my law in your heart. Yep. I don't expect you to live like the heathen.
That's right.
I say this often now, and I might say it again this week. If you commit a crime, and you go to jail, or you go to prison, and then you serve your sentence and you get out, they don't tell you when you get out, by the way, now that you've gotten out, you can go ahead and commit the crime again, you're free. What happened? The thing that I was guilty of, I still have to obey the law. Amen. Because you got saved doesn't mean you don't obey.
That's right.
It doesn't mean that the Bible's null and void. Right. That we have maximum liberty to do whatever we want. He says, I'm going to write it in your heart. Not only am I going to put the gospel in your heart, I'm going to write my law in your heart, because there is a way to live, and there is a way to serve Me. And it's not like the pagans. It's not like the heathen.
Right.
But I just love those big charismatic concerts. The love of Jesus just flows through the room. That's not love. That's somebody's deodorant. Didn't work. If you don't know what a Baal worship festival is, you just look at some of these places and you'll see it's similar. Not the same, but similar. Now let's go to the last verse, verse 34. And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor, and every man his brother, saying, Know the Lord, for they shall know me. From the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith the Lord. For I will forgive their iniquity, and will remember their sin no more. So here's the story here. The day will come when all who will be saved will be saved. And in that day, when they will be saved, he says, I want to remind you their sin has been forgiven. And I will remember their sin no more. We do a real good job of remembering everyone's sin. Well, let me tell you what they did. Let me tell you what happened 2 years ago. Let me tell you what happened 10 years ago. He said, I remember their sin no more. We remember everybody's sin. We like to repeat it. If you got saved because grace came to you in the wilderness. Whether you were a drunk, whether you were a drug addict, or whether you were someone that grew up in church and heard the gospel, you were lost and undone. If you were lost and undone, you never got grace. You're too holy to be saved. You don't realize you never got it. And you're there and don't know it. Somebody needs to take the rose-colored glasses off you, and you can see the truth. And you realize you're in a prison camp, and it's a wilderness. You're suffering, and you're dying, and you'll go to hell. If you've been saved, be thankful. Much grace has come your way.
That's right.
You live in the United States of America, you got a lot of grace. Now, there's other good countries where you can move there. No, South Dakota. There's places I'd like to go. I like air conditioning. Some of them places up where you're from, they don't have any air conditioning up there in the Philippines. They got to hire somebody just to go like that. That's kind of rough. We live in a place where we've been blessed. Now you can be blessed to live somewhere else, but grace has come and you don't even realize the grace of God will allow you to be in a place where there's plenty. Well, all I live in is 100 square foot by, 10 square feet. Well, you can live in the islands and have no electricity, no refrigeration, no toilet. That's kind of rough. It's nice to have it. We're staying up there at Landers there in between meetings. 117 degrees up there. We got an outhouse. He's got an outhouse up there. Well, I'll close with this. But grace came to that wilderness? Yeah. Because they put a mobile home on there. Oh, it's not a house. When you go to bed at night, you don't know any different. Right. They put a mobile home on there, and they have running water, and toilets, and showers, and a hot tub. And I use it. And they have air conditioning, by the way. I use that too. Grace came to that wilderness and made it an oasis. The sunrise is beautiful, and the sunset is beautiful. Yeah, but don't you have to live in that heat? Yeah, we have to live in this world. But He gives us grace so we can live in this world.
Yeah.
Has He brought you grace in the wilderness? If you've never been saved, you've never experienced it, you don't really know what I'm talking about. You're just kind of, yeah, sounds good. You don't understand what I'm talking about. And if you've been saved, everything you have is by the grace of God. Father, we ask you bless tonight. But I had another message. And something got redirected. Perhaps it was for tonight. Grace in the wilderness. We all like something. I'm going to ask Jacqueline to come back up and have her play that song for our invitation. We'll play for the invitation. We'll sing and play. But it's going to be God's been good to us.